Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Johan Cruyff rebuild. We are going in season 3 today. All right, remember, we are using this tactic, which is available for the patrons right now. And the idea, I think, behind this summer transfer is we need to make this 11 stronger. Not so much about squad padding. It's about getting higher caliber players into these positions next season. Obviously, with a little bit of youth attached to it. I think we're really struggling when we come against them big teams in Europe, just purely because of the attacking tactic. I think we need to be stronger in terms of personnel, and I think we'll be fine in the Eredivisie. It's a little bit tighter than what I would have liked last season in season 2. However, there are 2 or 3 really good signings. We'll be absolutely fine to try and make it 3 out of 3. And remember, guys, this tactic is available down in the description if you want to join the Patreon. Muchly appreciated if you do that. Thank you to everyone who's on screen right now for your support on the channel. So I thought I would just show you some of the statistics. Obviously, really good goal scoring season. There is 3 players on 20 plus, with Van der Boomen, Weghorst and Bergwijn all getting double figures. Assist-wise, like Van der Boomen has been sensational. The only issue is he's now 30 years old, soon to be 31, so he needs replacing. I am looking at perhaps dropping him a little bit deeper next season, just so we can get someone who's in with maybe a little bit more athletic. His physicals aren't great, and we do need to look long-term. Potential outs, I think, is definitely Bergwijn. Looks like he's going to be leaving. All right, so let's go to the end of the transfer window and see what we've done. Okay, so one of the most notable outs is Steven Bergwijn. Was interested in going, kind of contracts were proving to be a little bit of an issue. Always wanted more money. Thought he could go to a bigger club. He's gone to El Ittihad, 47 million. I was more than happy with that. He is peaking 28, and obviously we've got players in wide areas, and it's soon. I think it is quite easy to pick up someone in that wide area, and we have done that. Believe me. So Bergwijn gone, nice bit of money in the bank. A few backups. Medic has gone to Köln. Tarovic has gone to Parma. And Bjorn Sosa, not a bad player. However, just didn't suit the tactic we were playing. Couldn't really fit in. He could have done that role, I suppose, but I think we need better in those positions. Barely played for us in those 2 seasons. Kaplan as well, a player that we spoke about a few times. Nowhere near good enough in terms, there's a few nice little greens in there, but their mentals and heading, not good enough pace and strength, and not obviously good as a ball-playing defender, so just get him out of the door was good. And then the last one, right towards the transfer window, it left us a little bit short, I think, but we're just going to carry it, I think, up until maybe January. Satalo, constantly linked, and then they just came in with a whopping bid, £68 million. I think it rises to something like 74 mil. So I think it was a deal that had to be done. It's a deal that Ajax would allow to go, and I thought that was really good value for him. He's good. He's not absolutely amazing, but I do think we'll miss him this season. One noticeable free transfer, our goalkeeper, Gorta, wanted like 15 grand to be our backup, so we've let him go, and he's now on 3,300 at Vitesse. Right, the first one to come through the door extremely early. He had a minimum release clause of 24.5 million. We have activated Ruben van Bommel's contract, and he is looking like he's going to be pretty good. He started pretty well for us, 7.35 average, 2-2. Can play all 4 attacking positions, which is really good when we're just doing a little bit of rotation. We've once again not really found that striker yet, and I do think potentially with his finishing, his pace and his height, he could be a striker for us. Do we go down the poacher route? At times, Barca played with sort of like a poacher, maybe a Romario. We could well do that. I don't think I'm going to do it this season, but I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, because finding a striker who is absolute elite at doing that has been proven pretty difficult. Little bit of a backup, but I thought this guy was an absolute bag, and his contract was going, but we managed to pick him up for £64,000. Martin Vitic. 6'4", can do a whole host of different positions for us. Absolutely tremendous physicals, heading. He's just a big, meaty centre-half with really good pace. Surprise, Mark Gay was going on a free. Big clubs went in for him, and we went in 95 grand. Promised him not the world, but an important player. He will be absolutely tremendous, either as our right centre-half or even middle of the 3, taking over from Satalo. I did want him to play as the wide centre-half and then Satalo in the middle. I thought that would have been absolutely wonderful, but at least we've got a replacement for Satalo. And this one's an interesting one. FMers, I would absolutely love to hear. I've heard of him, but I didn't realise he would turn out as good as this. We've got him on a free transfer from Norwich. Look at those technicals. I'm now thinking that he's going to be that advanced playmaker as we maybe drop back Van der Boomen a little bit. We needed strength in there with Henderson aging, etc. So Núñez is in, free transfer once again. And then Jerry St. Just, a decent defender, 29 years old. We've got him on a 2-year deal from Sporting, absolutely free, so more than happy with that. And the big one is João Felix. He can play all four roles, again, attacking wide areas, striker, attacking centre mid. He could probably even do that one there as our advanced playmaker. I'm not sure quite what to do with him. I was going to play him with a 10. I'm going to toy whether to go like a cam or playing that as a DLF. Interesting to know where you think his best position is. £40 million, which is a lot of money, including 175,000 week wages. That is a lot, so we need to make sure that we get Champions League football. New number one, we needed a new goalkeeper, and we've activated his release clause. Rome, Jadon, Owusu, Adoro. Coming from AZ, 29.5 million. I nearly went for Mamash Dilly. The guy at Valencia anyway. We went for him. We could have gone for him for about 30 mil, but this guy was Dutch, young. Someone that we can maybe develop and then potentially even sell on. So that's why we went for him. And the last one, mentioned in the comments of the previous video, he, in this save anyway, looks absolutely tremendous. We picked him up for an absolute snip at 8.5 million, and I think he's on his way actually to Real Madrid this summer. He's our kind of replacement for Bergwijn. Yes, he's young, but he's more than capable of stepping in to that wide area. Now, we've still got Veggie, so we've got Van Bommel, Felix, Bargi. That is a tremendous front four. Brobby to come in as well. What is he called? Mastantuono. We're going to go Franco for the save. It's Franco. So Franco could go in anywhere in there. Van der Boomen, Sanchez, Taylor, Pirol, Hayato, Gay, Brobby, Wrench, Van der Berg, St. Just, Henderson, Borges, Núñez, Vitic. I think we look really strong this year. I think we've really strengthened this central area as well. Like Van der Boomen in there. We can get maybe Mastuano in there. Franco, go like that with maybe Núñez coming in for Sanchez. We've got so many different options this season. All right, guys, we're going to shoot all the way through till February, see how we get on, see if we do any kind of dealings in the January. Have we got any money to spend? Yeah, we've got a little bit. I can't imagine us looking at really getting anyone in, but we'll see where we are up to sort of like the halfway progress. We've started the league season okay. We've already lost the game, which was a little bit disappointing. Just a random 3-1 smashing at NEC, where we were 1-0 up as well. And then we've just drawn at home to Utrecht. Our Champions League draw, I think, is extremely tricky. Rangers, then Man United and Leipzig away. We don't think we'll get much out of there. 3 big home games, AEK, Juventus, and then Bayern, and then 2 tricky games against Lazio and Galatasaray to finish. Right, we've made it all the way through the 5th of February. A little bit of dealings to be done. Rulli has gone. He was our not veteran, but our number 1 goalkeeper up until this summer. We've let him go just so we could get him out in wages. Jordan Henderson kind of signed a new deal last year, and then he's kind of dropped off. We're at that point now where we're happy to sell him on. He's gone to Freiburg. Got a little bit of cash for him as well. And then a couple of others as well, like Lasse Adibag, 19-year-old Danish player, nowhere near good enough. And that was all that we did. All right, competition-wise, we're doing all right. Eredivisie, 21 games. We've only lost another game. That was against Vol, which is really disappointing. We should not be losing to those 2 teams. 1 draw against Utrecht, and then we've managed to rack up an impressive number of victories. Only 15 goals conceded, scored 58, 55 points in those 21 games. We've got a nice 6-point cushion. And then the Champions League phase, we sneaked in by the skin of our teeth. 8 games, 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats, 17 scored, 17 conceded, 8 points, a point above the rest. Drawing with Rangers was a disappointing start, and then defeats back-to-back, Man United and Leipzig 3-1. I was starting to think, okay, we're a little bit of trouble here. AEK, then we'd expect 4-0. Juventus, 0-0 at home, so not a bad one. Bayern Munich, absolute 3-4 thriller with us kind of getting back into the game, taking an early lead, then going 2-1 down, then 2-2, then 3-2 down, then 3-3, and then them scoring on 81 to kill us off. And then we had to go and pick up at least 3 points in one of our last 2 games, and we absolutely smashed Lazio 5-2. Galatasaray, I thought this was going to be an absolute killer, But we've managed to survive and we've qualified. However, we are in the last 16 instead of last 32 instead of the 16. And we've got Liverpool to play. Probably won't go any further this year, which is disappointing because we did get to, the quarters last year. And then cup-wise, we're still in the cup. We've just beaten Telstar. There's AZ, us, Eindhoven and Utrecht. So if we get a decent... Has a draw been done? No, draw's not been done yet. However... I'm really happy with that. PSV, as long as it's not PSV away, I think we're on, hopefully, for a final and winning the Cup Trophy for the first time in the save. Right, on to the end of the season, and we've done it. 3 league titles in a row. 5 games lost in the end, like PSV away, home defeat NAC. I would love to get rid of those scrappy sort of like games that we should, unless it's one of those big clubs, PSV, Feyenoord, Utrecht, maybe AZ, even Twente, I don't want to be losing to any of those. We've better than last year, less goals, same conceded, but for some reason we've not been able to go anywhere near that, which is weird because we're a lot stronger. I don't know if it's because we're in Champions League, and we're rotating a lot of players for the Eredivisie. So the first season we were in the Conference League and then we've had to rotate because of Champions League. So we maybe need to get into that scenario by season 5. We need to be, rather than a starter and a backup, it needs to be 2 starters pretty much for every position. Our cup success, finally, Van Bommel in. We played Eindhoven in the final. Van Bommel in to make it 1-0. Vitic's got a few starts recently. There's João Felix. We'll have a look at his profile later on. Rooney Bargi kind of faking to drift it into the far corner, then cutting it in. And then Bargi again getting involved. Nunes, what a season he's had, by the way. And Renato Sanchez in to make it 3-0 and to give us a domestic double. Now, you might have been getting excited for the Champions League because I've not shown you yet, but we lost against Liverpool. 3-1 in the home leg. Bit of a killer, 3-1 down as well at half-time. Despite taking the lead, we got a bit excited. And then 2-2 away at Liverpool. Not a bad result, I suppose, trying to get a performance. But look who scored, Josip Satalo. So that leaves us, end of Season 3, in a decent position. Loads of money in the bank. So we're going to have a little bit of money to spend next year, 36 mil. I think that may also go up. Appearance-wise, obviously, the goalkeeper, we've just had a little bit of a drop-off. Well, last season, we had 3 players that had scored over 20, and this year, we've not had 1. We've really struggled with the who's going to be the front man, who's going to kind of take the hit a little bit in terms of Felix, Brobby, Van Bommel, and Weghorst. Injured again for a little bit. He's a great, Weghorst, but he's actually retiring, which is a bit of a shame because he's done all right for us. So I am thinking, do we need to change? Do we just go for a poacher as well and just have someone as a little bit of a finisher? I do like this scenario with Van Bommel and Felix as a little option. Mastuano on the left and then Bargi on the right. Franco, by the way, has had a tremendous season. 35 appearances, 10 as sub, 11 goals, 21 assists. He's had a really good season despite him being, 19? There he is. Franco, he's still only 19, 20 in May, but 20 in August, but a really good season. So we need to fix this. We've not scored enough goals. It's good, but to be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players in double figures, which is pretty good. Obviously, a lot of rotation in there. Marcelino Nunes, has absolutely come alive. 30, one of the best free transfers I've ever seen in the game. It's just somebody who bounces at you and you don't realise. You're like, whoa, how have I missed him up until this point? 12 goals, 15 assists, absolutely wonderful. And then really good contributions as well. Average ratings, really good contributions from Traore for a couple of appearances. Gay's had a decent season, 36 appearances, 10 as sub, 7, 10 as sub for Gay, which is weird. And that's because we're rotating constantly and trying to just juggle Champions League and Eredivisie. I think we can juggle it fine, but then I think that's costing us with this Eredivisie performance because we're just a little bit off. 8 points, we've cantered it in the end, but that first season, as I said, 94 points only, and with 31 out of 34 wins. So I feel like we have to keep going Champions League. We have to keep pushing it. We just got to be careful that we keep strengthening the squad. Chuba Akpom has not had a great season. He's barely featured. I thought it was a little bit harsh, but I just thought it was time to move on for him. So hopefully we can get him out of the door. Who else hasn't featured? Fitz Jim is going on a free, I think. Akpom will try and sell on. Ramaj will try and sell on. Silviano Vos, I'm trying to give a little bit more playing time to. I want to keep Wrench. Traore will probably let go. Van der Beek will probably let go as well. And then the rest is all decent squad plays. Jerry St. Just, even though he's on a 2-year deal, is actually retiring at the end of the season. Loads of sub appearances for us, which was, useful, but he's just decided to retire, which was a little bit frustrating. But we are looking, we've still got Sepp van der Berg, so we're kind of covered. Harto's coming through. We're kind of covered in defensive areas. So this summer is going to be tough because we're going to have about 40 mil to spend, which isn't massive. Maybe up to about 50, 60 with a couple sells. Then it's all about key players for this. Like, love our team. Gueye, Pirola, Harto, Van der Boomen, Nunes, Taylor, Borges, or should I say Rooney Bargi on that right-hand side. Felix, Van Bommel's played a lot of last few games up front for us. And as you can see with his form, out injured a little bit. Look, not selected, injured. Left him out, and then we've brought him back deep line forward, and he's bagged a few goals. So maybe we go with him next year as the deep line forward, like that. Felix in behind, Franco, and then Rooney Bargi with Borges, Brobbey. Probably need to maybe look at bringing another young player, maybe to bring in on that wing, potentially. Something definitely to look at. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out the communities page, communities tab. There is currently a vote going for the next rebuild. It explains, we're talking Mourinho at Chelsea, Bielsa back at Leeds, and also a Bordeaux one with the kind of description of what it's about, because they're all kind of tactic rebuilds. Said this is available for you Patreons as well. Link down in the description to that. Thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on today's video. Next episode will be out over at the weekend, season 4. See you then.